Hello and welcome to another Bad Comic Review. In this episode we're looking at Batman the Murder Machine. It's a one-shot from DC Comics. This is written by Frank Thierry and James Tynion IV. Art by Riccardo Federici. Colorist Rain Berardo, something like that. Lettered by Tom Napolitano, legendary letterer at this point. Covered by Jay Fabok with Brad Anderson. Alright, so let's get right into it. This story focuses on evil cyborg Batman. He shows up at the Watchtower while Victor's talking to his dad. As it happens, Victor's dad, of course, works at Star Labs. He's one of their head guys, so he's pretty safe there, in theory. And he wants to help solve the problem what's going on with the metals and the Justice League. But evil cyborg Batman shows up through the teleporter and immediately attacks Cyborg. Then we get a flashback to Earth -44, the dark multiverse, months ago, where a bunch of Batman's rogues gallery are attacking Alfred, and Bane kills him. And Batman's been watching the video over and over again, and it's actually super unhealthy, obviously, but the Justice League is there to try and get him to stop. They leave Batman for a minute to go upstairs, and he asks Victor to stay behind for a minute. Well, Victor Stone's a good friend, so he wanted to help. And as it happens, Bruce had scanned Alfred's brain a short time before during some other adventure, and he wants to recreate an artificial intelligence version of Alfred. Not like the weird Alfred headroom thing from Batman and Robin movie, because that was awful and stupid. This was actually pretty interesting, sort of AI, quasi-robot sort of thing. Construct of sorts. Turns out that version of Alfred multiplied himself, trying to protect Bruce Wayne, went and slaughtered all of his enemies, killed all the inmates at Arkham Asylum, and went on a rampage. Then it got into Batman himself, like rewired him, made him into a cyborg of sorts, or a straight up android, I'm not sure which. And it was all because of Victor's help programming this. So he ends up having to kill the entire Justice League who try and stop him. It's all done through flashback, and the cover is actually a pretty good indicator, I suppose, of what happened. They don't really go into graphic detail about it, but Cyborg was the last one to die, and now here on Earth Zero, they are fighting, and Cyborg just doesn't stand much of a chance at all, especially when most of the rest of the evil Dark Knights show up, and they just pummel him something serious, and it looks like he's pretty close to being dead, but evil Batman Cyborg got access to the computer and redid the Watchtower in this really creepy look. As far as the story goes, it was really well written. I thought it was a lot of fun. It was a good story for an origin for evil Batman, and you can tell they're trying really hard to make these characters a little sympathetic because they knew their multiverses were dying. They had all gone through tragic events and had horrible things happen to them. And I really like the art in here too. It was really good. It's a different style than I'm used to seeing. It's got more of a, I don't know, maybe a more European, like, high art type look. But it was really well done, and it really did work well for the book. So I'm hoping to see more of this artist, because I'd like to see what else they're capable of. And I thought they did a really good job with the action scenes. It's a pretty action-packed book. I mean, there's a lot of flashbacks, but there's also a lot of fighting between Cyborg and the Murder Machine. I recommend checking this out. It's not going to make a lot of sense without the metal books, because it is a tie-in to Dark Knight's Metal. So if you haven't read Dark Knight's Metal, I highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun. It's not a real heavy, deep story. It's just crazy fun. And this was really good tie-in to that. So if you're going to read Dark Knight's Metal, I highly recommend picking this one up. I thought it was really well done, and it provides a lot of context for one of the evil Dark Universe Batman. That's pretty much my assessment of it. I recommend it, especially if you're reading Dark Knight's Metal. It'll make more sense then. But that'll do it for this one. As always, thank you so much for listening and supporting the channel. Please be sure and hit like and subscribe so you don't miss any more episodes. And we hope to see you on the next episode.